Good evening and thank you for joining us. Alvin Fiddler is once again the Grand Chief of Anishinaabe Nation.
He was sworn in today on day 2 of the 41st annual Kiwewin Conference here in Thunder Bay. Fiddler says his #1 priority is to restore NAN's reputation and relationships. Jessica Clement has more.
Alvin Fiddler has returned to the role of Grand Chief after being away for 2 years. It was made official on Wednesday during a swearing-in ceremony that took place during the 41st annual Kiwewin Conference.
People of Anishinaabe Nation and councillors, I present to you your Grand Chief, Alvin Fiddler.
Fiddler, from Muskrat Dam First Nation, is replacing former Grand Chief Derek Fox, who was removed from the post in May over alleged code of conduct violations. Fiddler has 25 years of leadership experience within NAN and was first elected Grand Chief in 2015. He stepped down in 2021 to run for National Chief of the Assembly of First Nations, but lost the election. Fiddler says while he feels rested and ready to take on the role again, it wasn't an easy decision.
My kids, they encouraged me to consider stepping up again, and so we had some dinner conversations, and they're actually the ones that really encouraged me to take this on.
Fiddler says there are a number of important issues he hopes to address as Grand Chief, including resource development and land claims. However, his first priority will be restoring NAN's reputation.
We can't ignore that and pretend that didn't happen. We have to, as I was advised to do by the elders, to acknowledge what's happened and to take appropriate steps to do the restoration and the healing and the mending that we need to do to restore relationships within NAN and also relationships with external partners.
According to Fiddler, the strained relationships within NAN are largely related to the lack of communication and presence of leaders in communities, which he says he plans to change by meeting with chiefs and members. He says he also plans on reaching out to Derek Fox.
To ensure that everyone remains in that circle, that's how we keep it strong, is if everyone is a part of that, and that includes Derek and his family, and we will make it our effort to reach out to him.
The term for Grand Chief will be for just 1 year until another election is held. Fiddler says he hasn't decided yet whether he will seek a full 3-year term in 2024. Jessica Clement, TBT News.
Intimate partner violence and sexual assault are an ongoing problem in Thunder Bay, and now some local groups are asking City Council to declare gender-based violence an epidemic.
It is becoming more severe, that there is less and less accountability for people who perpetrate that violence, and women are in positions where they cannot escape it.
According to local anti-violence committees, incidents of intimate partner violence are 2 times higher in Thunder Bay than the provincial rate and 1.5 times higher than the Canadian rate. Between 2017 and 2021, Thunder Bay Police have taken over 3,300 calls for domestic and family violence each year. In 2022, 2,300 cases of intimate partner violence were reported, with 267 perpetrators charged and 703 charges handed out in total. O'Reilly says the biggest concern is the lack of resources for victims.
We have 2 women's shelters in town. They are always full. We have no homeless women's shelter here, which, is also, women often move from violence to homelessness. We need a lot of basic services as well as additional funding to the services that exist.
The committee will make its request to City Council on September 25th. O'Reilly hopes the declaration of an epidemic will put pressure on governments to fund the resources that victims need and to prevent intimate partner violence from happening in the first place.
NOSM University's faculty and staff are ready to go on strike if ongoing contract negotiations don't go their way. They announced today that a strike mandate vote received 100% support. 41 NOSM full and part-time faculty members, librarians, and other professional staff in Thunder Bay and Sudbury voted to support the strike mandate. They're looking for compensation that's on par with other medical schools in the province. The union president says the university's current offer would reduce job security and academic autonomy, along with teaching and research resources, among other issues.
And the key issues are fairness and equity in the workplace. And we believe that we deserve working conditions that are similar to other medical schools in Ontario, particularly Southern Ontario. And we are of the position that we provide excellent quality medical education for people of Northern Ontario.
Manitowabi says he's optimistic that a strike can still be avoided. Meanwhile, NOSM University administration say they, quote, share the common goal of nurturing an institution that upholds the highest standards of education and research, and are committed to working toward a mutually beneficial resolution.
Now to the continued fallout from a controversial plan to develop parts of Ontario's Greenbelt for housing.
Ontario's Liberal Party speaking out this morning about what they describe as the Ford government's, quote, lack of accountability. Siobhan Morris reports.
A week after a blistering report on the Greenbelt from the Auditor General, the Liberals don't think there's been a lot of accountability.
There is mounting evidence that something happened here that broke the public trust. And that should be of interest to the OPP, could be of interest to the RCMP.
Provincial police haven't decided whether to investigate.
To maintain public trust,
The Auditor General finds the removal of land from the Greenbelt was heavily influenced by developers who stand to gain more than $8 billion. The process led by the Minister of Housing's Chief of Staff.
We do believe the minister ought to have known. The minister indicated to us he did not know.
Something the interim Liberal leader thinks stretches reason.
When Minister Clark and Premier Ford tell us they knew nothing, they're lying.
The Premier concedes the process could have been better.
As we implement the report's recommendations, it will be better.
A memo went out to political staff Monday, echoing the Auditor General. Bonnie Lysyk notes some emails were missing and that personal accounts had been used in Greenbelt discussions.
Government business should be on government emails, not on personal emails, and that because that is a risk as well, because personal emails become then subject to FOI.
Freedom of information requests, which can shed light on closed-door conversations.
why were they deleted?
New Democrats want the Integrity Commissioner to look at email and phone use. The request comes after a report suggesting the Premier may be using his personal cell for work-related calls. The NDP leader says it's not right for the Premier to
Expect that he can have, private conversations or conversations about government business, and that's not under the purview of the Information and Privacy Commissioner. It absolutely is.
A spokesperson for the Premier's office says they comply with all rules and regulations as set out in the Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act. It's not clear if the Integrity Commissioner will dig into this new angle or when his report on the Greenbelt land swap will be done.
That was CTV's Siobhan Morris reporting. For the second time this year, a breach has compromised data from a number of LCBO email subscribers. On August 9th, the LCBO was informed that an unauthorized party gained access to certain LCBO subscriber data, including names and email addresses. Back in January, a similar incident happened with the LCBO, where the website and app were knocked offline. The LCBO is advising people not to click on unsolicited emails or links. The Privacy Commissioner of Ontario has been notified.
The Ronald McDonald House Charity Golf Tournament is coming up next week at the Fort William Country Club. And in preparation for the big fundraiser, Wayne Toyota hosted its annual charity barbecue this afternoon in support of the cause. Last year, the barbecue was able to raise $10,000 for the Ronald McDonald House. This year, organizers hope to top last year's total, thanks in part to a 50-50 draw for many different prizes, including a signed Jordan Stahl jersey. Event organizer and tournament chair Chris Holland says while the Ronald McDonald House may not be a strictly local charity, it still has impacts on the community.
It's really supporting the Thunder Bay community because when people fly out of here to go to Toronto or London with a sick child, they need a place to stay, and that's where the Ronald McDonald House comes in. So even though it's not a traditional local charity, it supports all the Thunder Bay community in the region. So
you don't really know until you're actually in a situation where you have a sick child. when you're trying to focus in on them, trying to focus in on the other stuff too, like eating, food, where you're gonna stay, is really kind of the back of your mind. So to be able to take that off your plate when you're in a stressful situation with a child and a family member, it's a really a big deal.
50/50 tickets are available online. The charity golf tournament will be held on Friday, August 25th.
An iconic movie from the early 2000s is being adapted for the stage by local high school students and Applause Productions.
Mean Girls will be performed starting tonight at Trinity Church Hall on Park Avenue. Joe Sadowski has the story.
I thought you would cave, but you stood up to her. You were strong, you were brave. No, you know what you were. You were fetch, selfish, and we're free.
Now, I know it may not be October 3rd yet, but Mean Girls the Musical has all the iconic quotes, hilarious scenes, and all the high school drama from the film, as well as a twist with a live band for all the musical numbers. Director of the play, Denise Krozuk, says the timing of the play fits perfectly with her talented cast of soon-to-be high school graduates.
I promised the cast from 2020, when I did Legally Blonde, that I would do Mean Girls as soon as it came out. And it was the perfect time, because a lot of these kids actually are graduating from high school. So it's like my little homage to them and my love letter to them as they go on to their future endeavors.
The cast was ecstatic about putting the play on for a live audience, and the main roles will be alternated each night by different actors, and the girls playing Katie and Regina say it's a great feeling to finally see their hard work pay off.
So excited. I mean, it's been an amazing opportunity over the summer to dedicate our time and to be alongside all of our amazing, talented cast members.
Putting this together was a lot of work, but I think we all are really good friends and we're all doing what we love, so we really just put our best foot forward for it, and we enjoy it, so it works out perfectly.
So you can't sit with us opening night because we are sold out.
But you can sit with us Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little upset that I didn't get an invite to Regina's lunch table, but all jokes aside, if you want to see Mean Girls the Musical, you can catch it right here at Trinity Church from the 16th to the 19th. Tickets are online or at the door, and if you're going on Wednesday, you better wear pink. Joe Sadowski, TBT News.
Poor air quality is expected to continue across the Northwest region tomorrow due to high levels of air pollution from forest fire smoke. A large cluster of fires spanning from northern Alberta to the Northwest Territories is the big contributing factor for a large wall of smoke that is being pushed east and across our region. Environment Canada has issued a special air quality statement for a large portion of northwestern Ontario, spanning from the Manitoba border to east of Thunder Bay and including most of the far north. Meanwhile, there are 37 active fires here in the Northwest as of Tuesday evening.